Okay, hello to everybody. Our main scope with this presentation is to provide some new data about microvertebrates from the Transylvanian landmass in Romania. So we will focus mainly on microvertebrate diversity and paleogeographic links, and there is another question if insular conditions had any effects on microvertebrates. So upper Cretaceous terrestrial rocks outcrop main in western Romania, mainly in the southern Carpathians, mainly in the Haarlem basin and outside in the Ruska-Montana basin, and also in southwestern Transylvania, and some outcrops also in the northern part of Apusei Mountains. Historically and based on lithological features, the localities from the northern part of the Haarlem basin were included in a densus Chula formation, those from the middle and from the southern parts in the Petro formation, and outside in the southwestern Transylvanian region, the outcrops are along the Mureș River and some of its tributaries. This is an area included in the Shard or in the Seveș formation. So this region in the late Cretaceous, the part of western Tethyan region, there are some tectonism in the area with the implication of some microplates, mainly the Austral plain, Iceland, Tisia Dacia, and the Adriatic microplates. So sedimentation in the continental sedimentation in the area starts perhaps in the late Campanian or in the early Maastrichtian, and the sedimentary accumulations correspond to lower energy, fluvial and floodplain settings. Mostly are alluvial, and in some areas they contain some volcanoplastics, coals. There are some lacustrinous settings and also paleosalts. And as a paleoclimate, it may correspond to subtropical, seasonally variable and semi-arid climate. And some reconstruction says that this area lies at a southern position, and emerged surface land was up to the 80,000 or even larger surface. The first researcher who published a lot on this area was Baron Franz Noccia. Here are some of his papers. Already he observed some sign of insular dwarfism, okay? And also he was accepting the Wegener's theory on continental trough. So he understood what happens with this area. Some of his classical reconstructed forms, there are some sauropods, some ornithopods, different archosaurians, crocodilians, ankylosaurs, primitive turtles, Calochivotion. But in his Noccia's times, there were nothing known about microvertebrates. So, with a considerable gap after Noccia's times, intensive collecting activity starts in the mid-80s, in the last century, And as a result, new microvertebrate localities were discovered alongside with dinosaur agnates, pterosaur birds, and also mammals. Most remains are isolated. The researchers were from University of Bucharest, from University of Cluj, and several other international teams were implicated in this research. You have seen here some of the outcrops, like along the Berbat rivers, where the outcrops are within the riverbed, and also on the riverside. Here's the Savage River area in the famous locality, or the Jos locality, and there are other localities. So, taxonomical progress are from on microvertebrates was main interest was on mammals. The first publications come from the 80s and 90s by Rădulescu and Samson. Two of these genera described Barbaton transylvanicus, Cogainum unguranui, and also a new endemic family was established, Cogainidae. Other contributions are on frogs, on diverse lizards like Paramaceroid lizards and Boreoteoidea, and also snake were described. Another small multituberculate mammals was described in the latest years, and also new tailweed lizards, but we have a lot of new forms still unstudied and undescribed. Let's see some of these remains and some of his diagnostic characters. The Alban herpetodontids are very common in all the localities. These are very small animals, superficially looks like salamanders. They have had elongated body, large head. The skull is covered by a sculpture, usually consisting of polygonal pits. Here you see some fused frontals, but the sculpture is on nasal bone, on premaxillae, on prefrontals, and so on. The mandibles bear prong-like process for articulating process. The first three vertebrae are very specialized, okay, and the jaw bones bear some chisel-like teeth with superficially tricuspid crowns. So it belongs to the Alban herpeton, but might be close to the Alban herpeton exoozone, so it is still not described. Another group belongs to the Bombinatoridae frogs, Hatzegobastacus grigorescui. Some typical features are here. The holotype, so the genus was established on the ilium, which lacks a dorsal crest, and the tuber superius is undivided. The urostyle is monocotylar. On the vertebrae are opistocellose, and the vertebrae on the subcentral area we have some large pits, like in recent Barburula, and there are some structures like the zygosphene and the zygantrum, and this might be related to defensive posture known as uncanny reflex, seen also in recent combinatory frogs, fire-bellied toads, showing their belly, which are poisonous for potential predators. Another groups related to combinatory foxalitidae, there are a lot of forms here. The most common is Palaeontologia transylvanica. You see some of its diagnostic characters here. Here is tuber superius very high, and the crista iliaca is moderately high. The urostyl is bicotylar. The scapula is short and relatively wide, and so the distribution of this form is relatively large, mostly European, but also in North America there is a form described as Paradiscoglossus americanus. Another form was described as Baconybatrachus, somewhat similar from the Eharcourt, which is of Santonian age. And the third form might be related to recent alites. In this case, the tuber superius is here undivided, oval, and the ilium lacks dorsal crest. And let's see some of the lizards. These are, some of them are very primitive, like Jacconidae. The toothed bones are closely packed, and they have unicuspid teeth, and mostly are of the same size, homodont. Some of the cranial bones also are typical. The descending flange of the frontals are united. Usually these are very small forms, and also they have amphizoolous vertebrae like the albanite petontid, so easily might be mixed or erroneously identify some of their bones. Okay. The stinchids are another group with the, unicuspid teeth, long posterior process of the mandible. We probably covered the splenial, the coronoid. The splenial is very small, and usually fused with the mandible, with the dentary, and the Merkelian canal is restricted anteriorly, so very typical for stinchid. And peculiar group might be related to the Teyoidea. Recently we have described it as Barbateus remiri. Some of these diagnostic characters. The upper temporal fenestra are not occluded either by the postfrontal or the postorbital. And osteodermal crest cover the parietal, the frontal, and some of these bones, the postorbital, the squamosal, and these cover also bear some imprints of the body scale. So these are very typical, but these may be observed in recent lacertids and also some of tail. So this form might be transitional between tails and lacertids. And another form is much smaller than this Barbateus. The size of the Barbateus may reach even 1 meter, but this is around 3 to 4 times smaller than the Barbateus. Typical is here the occipital scute for this form is divided, but many of these characters also may be observed. We cannot document for this form the presence of parietal foramen. Okay.
Yes, and much more time.
Okay.
Just 2 minutes.
Okay. Another form might be paramassalodid lizards and anguids and snakes. We have two forms described from the Herzeg Basin. The Nidophis insularis, which was discovered in the dinosaur nests, and another one is a much smaller form, very similar to Herensugia from the Campanian of Spain. These lacks the neural spine, and also it is provided with a kind of ridge here, similarly like the Herensugia. Also, a question might be resulted from selective radiation. Okay, and this is the third cogaion described from the outside of Herzeg Basin, the Barbatodon ordiensis, which is much smaller than the other ones, the Barbatodon transylvanicus and the Cogaion, and morphologically can be also differentiated from previous forms P3, and so the upper first molar is also different from the sides. So we compare to Ihorkut fauna to see some differences between geographically very close areas, but with the Ihorkut being somewhat older. Not many similarities can be found. Some common forms are present in both localities. The Alban Patuntids are present, some of the Alitid frogs, some of the Boreoteoids. But in the Ihorkut we have Neobatrachians, the Camopsids, not present in the Herzeg Basin. In the Herzeg Basin area we have Bombinatorid frogs, also Pelobatids, and a lot of different lizards and snakes, and also Cogaionids, which are lacking from the previous localities. So, some conclusions. We have an unexpected microvertebrate diversity in the Transylvanian landmass, with 4 distinct families of amphibians, 6 families of lizards, 2 matsoid snakes, 3 Cogaionid landmass, and we presume that the fauna links may be to Cratonic Europe, especially the Teyoid and paramassalodid lizards and Herensugia like snakes are practically documenting these links. And also there are some biogeographic links into North America. True salamanders were lacking, perhaps because of low colonization ability of these animals, and we presume that some groups like Teyoid lizards, matsoid snakes, and perhaps Cogaionid mammals probably underwent an adaptive radiation. But we have to study in more detail these aspects. So, and some supporters for this study, and thank you for your attention.